Side Scrollers is brought to you by you. If you'd like to support the show, head over to patreon.com/sidescrollers. It's time for Side Scrollers on YouTube.com. With me, Stuttering Craig. You got a goal? Go get it. Adam Krigler.
Hi, buddy.
Wow.
Hi, chat. I love you. Mwah.
And producer extraordinaire, Travis Key.
Hi, guys.
And brought to you by you, the G2 community, at patreon.com/sidescrollers. And now, broadcasting from our homes, it's time for the #1 gaming and entertainment podcast on planet Earth. It's time for Side Scrollers.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome on out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com and Twitch.tv and Twitter.com. Hello, everybody. What's going on? I'm Stuttering Craig. Welcome to the #1 video game and entertainment podcast on planet Earth. It's Side Scrollers. Joining us as always, the one, the only sleepy boy himself. It's Travis Keys. Hello, Travis. How are you?
Morning. Half asleep, but I'm here.
Of course. Also joining us, the Guamanian queen, straight from the depths of hell and the tire shop. It's Blabs.
I was going straight from the mechanic. Hi, guys. Hello. By the way, we are not live on Kick today, but we do have a Kick, so check the chat, and I will drop the links, and you guys check it out.
Yes. I'm working on that. Kick. We were planning on it today, but not today. Anyways, kick.com/Side Scrollers. Also joining us today, the greatest gamer in the room, straight from the other side of the ocean. It's Adam Krigler.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. How you doing?
Great to see you, buddy. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Good to see you guys.
Hey.
Blabs, I'm glad you made it. I was worried that you weren't going to make it.
Thank you. I got home, and I was like, psst. I was like, what is that? And I looked, and there's a massive nail in my tire. I was like, shit.
I have
Is
an
it still in there?
No, I got it out, plugged it, went to the mechanic. I live right by one. I'd never been
Nice.
there in my life, so I was like, hi. And there was nobody there because I went in the wrong entrance.
So wait, who did you say hi to then?
The door.
Okay.
I knocked and everything, and pigeons went flying away. I was
I
like,
have an objection. I don't think Adam can be called the greatest gamer in the room if he misses all of the group gaming days.
Now you guys are really, really sore on that.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna be with Adam this side since he actually took the time to care for me. Leave Adam alone. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Blabs. I mean, I can fight my own battles, but I appreciate it. Yeah, look, guys, I think we need to do more gaming streams, not just like every random Friday
that Adam can't make it.
well, the first time I had no choice. This Friday is the first time that I'm saying, guys, I can't make it because I have an obligation to go enjoy family, and I thought you guys would be okay with that, but clearly not.
No, not at all.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it is what it is. I would love if we did more gaming streams. Like on the show live. We should.
Yes, we absolutely will.
Do it more often.
Well, you know, the reason why it being on Friday was I wanted to build and talk about it throughout the week. That's the whole idea was, hey, this Friday we're playing Smash Brothers. I look forward to having everybody out and come out and hang out with us. And it's going to be super fun. So anyways, we're going to do it this Friday. And Dan Bask is going to join us for sure. As well as Trav and Blabs and me, and we're all going to suck equally, and it's going to be super fun. And you know what we're not going to do? Let me tell you what we're not going to do. We are not going to play Smash Brothers, Final Destination, Fox, no items. We're not doing that. We're playing all items. We're playing whatever levels we want. It's going to be insane because, look, at the end of the day, you're not coming to us for high-level gameplay. You're coming to us for fun, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to have fun, and I can't wait. What, Travis?
We all suck at the game, too, so, like,
yes, it's been well established.
I've only played it once, so I can't say if I actually suck at it or not. We'll find out. I haven't played it in like a year. I probably will, in all honesty, but I like to be
Labs is
positive.
just gonna go in there and be a master immediately.
I'm gonna rule them all.
I hope
Wouldn't
so.
that be amazing? Wouldn't that be
I would
amazing?
love it if
Blam!
Blabs just
I'm gonna play as Kirby
somehow.
and just eat everybody.
Wow. That'd be awesome. Joining us today, we have not one, but two special guests. Very exciting to have back on the show, You, Me, and the Movies, also known as Eric and Kayla. Hello, guys. How are you?
Hey,
Hey, everybody.
how's it going?
Put you guys right in the center there, ready to go. Glad you guys have joined us today. Thank you very much for hanging out with us. How are you?
We're great.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Thanks for having us back. You know,
A little worried about Adam because he's going to miss the gaming stream for Midsommar. And we just reacted to that movie on our channel yesterday. And,
Did you really just watch it yesterday?
well, it released yesterday. We watched it 2 weeks ago. But,
Released, yeah.
so,
Look, it's okay. You don't
Bye,
have to worry
Adam.
about me. Yeah, Midsummer.
Bye, Adam.
I've seen that movie, and it's not very good, for one, and it doesn't do a very good job of representing what Midsummer is.
Oh my god, look at you in the thumbnail. That's
Hold
so
on.
funny.
Last time you were on, you said that every single thumbnail you had was an authentic face. So you're telling me that during the movie you dressed up with this flower thing on top of your head?
I put the flower tiara on her head. With the little PNG.
In post,
Yeah.
Oh
was
my
good.
god, I thought she
The
was
face
actually
is
wearing
from
the entire time.
no.
I thought it fit the theme of the
Yeah.
what did you guys think of the movie?
I liked it.
You
It
did?
was weird.
I liked the
It
art
was-
design on it.
It was weird.
It was weird. Yeah.
Beautifully weird.
It's weird.
Yeah, the
Okay, I can see that. It was
The-
beautifully weird.
Like the
I'm
way they
just-
represented the culture that they invented with all the colors and the set designs and the art design and bringing this whole commune together was
They stuck to a
Fascinating.
theme, that's for sure. Yeah, it looked good.
That's true.
the part
Yes.
I couldn't stand was the pubes, and I'm just gonna leave it at that.
What?
All right, Travis out. You can't come in and make that statement and then expect to stick around for very long. I don't know. Listen, I don't know anything about the movie or the celebration. Do I need to educate myself on either? No.
no. It'll
Okay,
teach
sounds
you
good.
everything you need to know about Midsummer.
No, it won't teach you anything about Midsummer.
Is it like a cult thing or what? What's the
The
deal?
movie, yes.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
movie, yes. But Midsummer itself is awesome.
Okay, all right. Like,
Part of
just
that
for
commune probably was pretty fun.
just for my reference, Adam, like what happens during Midsummer? Because that's how it's Midsommar. So it's Midsummer.
It's Midsummer. It's not pronounced any odd way that you guys all seem to think. It's Midsummer.
Midsommar. Yes, okay.
I kept trying to
excellent.
tell him
No.
that, but he leans hard into the midsummer. I'm like,
yeah,
it's
so
midsummer, dude.
I live here, and they don't say Midsommar. Like, that's weird.
Did they say that in the movie, though?
It's Midsummer. Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm
what
sure, and I'm
happens?
sure a bunch of Swedes were actually telling everyone how to pronounce everything correctly in the movie. But being in Sweden and knowing that they don't say Midsommar or wherever it. So anyway, what happens is they eat a lot of amazing food. They do the Midsummer pole where they put flowers and stuff around a pole and just it's basically just an excuse to barbecue with family and celebrate the summer.
So
It's like
I
a
have
summer
breaking news.
solstice, isn't it?
I
Correct.
see it this way: that imagine what foreign people would make in a movie stereotypically about Americans, if like, you know what I mean? Imagine we'd be all shooting each other and running around. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Well, I mean that happens in reality.
Well,
so
Yeah,
that's
you
not
ever been
really
to
an
Chicago?
embellishment.
I'm saying, like,
Well, I mean,
Right.
at the barbecue, we'd be shooting each other.
The only
We
time
have
I've ever
breaking
been
news.
shot at was at a barbecue.
at Midsummer.
No, it was in
Right
okay.
in Chicago.
It was in Chicago. I'm not
All right,
joking. You think I'm joking? I'm dead serious. I was at a barbecue, got shot at.
And that's why I don't go to Chicago.
Was it shooting to kill or what? What's the deal?
Yeah, one of my friends was wearing his hat wrong, and
Oh.
Yeah.
some guys
Yeah.
approached us and said, "You're wearing your hat wrong. Don't don't wear your hat like that. And my friend told them to fuck off, and they were like, okay. And they started walking away, and then they all pulled guns on us and started shooting at us.
That happens. Like, seriously. That happened to me.
It
happened.
actually did happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It happened to you
it's
too,
good-
Trev?
Yeah, I didn't get shot at, but I had my hat on, and I always wear my hat cocked to the side a little bit. It's just how I put it on. And
Yeah.
some guy here, well, where I live, in the city there, walked up to me and said, "Nice hat. Don't wear it like that." And I said, "Huh?" He's like, "You want to change your hat." And he's like some 7-foot black guy. I'm like, "Okay, well, I'll change my hat."
It's a gang label, essentially. One direction is one gang, and the other direction is a different gang. I'm not
Well,
joking. That's just straight up a thing.
It's so silly though.
I'm really glad
Agreed.
that we can brandish firearms with good intentions of the way our hats are maneuvered, which is
Well,
just-
those aren't the law-abiding gun
no.
holders.
Yeah, they
of course
probably all
not.
own illegally.
Of course.
Hey, but I do have breaking news. We can settle this once and for all. How to pronounce midsummer. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. We have it. And Eric, this may shatter your brain, but here we are.
We are looking at how to pronounce this name as well as how to say more
Wait,
interesting.
You trust that guy?
Is
Listen,
this a villain?
Like,
I didn't watch the video before. All right, let's just keep going.
Okay.
Is this a villain arc?
I was expecting it just to be like two sentences, like 2 seconds, but I guess not.
Words and names as well, so make sure to stay tuned and consider subscribing for more learning.
This guy has 848,000 subscribers.
I want to hear him do like a
European
Nordic
Stephen
know,
Hawking.
throat.
Oh my gosh! Here, let's,
In British
That's his
English,
other channel.
This is generally said as midsummer. Midsummer in American
Okay.
English.
what? Yeah, Midsommar.
However, it is normally pronounced
Is that how I say
as midsummer. Midsummer in American English or midsummer in British English. And now you know. Here are more videos on how to pronounce more interesting words.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have found out that you are both
terrifying.
correct. You are both correct. Congratulations.
Everyone's a winner.
Yeah, don't trust the person who literally lives here.
That guy sounds like he might live close.
Listen,
I don't know.
Yeah, I world.
That guy to me sounds like he grew up in the middle of a jungle and learned English last year. That's what that fucker sounds like to me.
Oddly
Ju-
specific.
you're not going to trust Julian McKell, who has 848,000 subscribers. This is what
I'm
this
gonna
guy does for a
trust my
living.
own ears. I'm gonna trust my own ears
That
He
sounds
sounds-
because
from
I
Michelle.
live
Where's he
here.
He's from France, clearly.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Look at his name.
Is Adam talking? I don't understand. What
Oh my gosh.
Just I live here, you idiots. It's like when somebody
The
describes
Wi-Fi and be
Texas.
like, can you come say this word, please, honey?
Just
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
I happen to live here, and I hear the way Swedes actually say it. But you know what? Hey, trust some guy
What
on
do
the
you
internet.
know?
Listen,
Trust
don't we
some
all just trust random guys on the
Non-native
internet?
English-speaking guy on the internet.
Trust the internet. The internet is correct always, right?
That's right. That's right.
Wait, aren't you
Oh my
just some
God.
guy on the internet, Adam?
That's
Yeah, but I'm also living
He
in
also lives
Sweden.
there. Yeah.
And we're having a live conversation instead of watching a video. Like I'm telling you, I live in Sweden, and the people around me say midsummer. They don't say midsommar.
yeah.
I've never heard that.
but-
Today is the first time I've ever heard it pronounced that
But
way.
the random French guy on YouTube said
He's
But the guy has
he's living on how to
848,000.
pronounce things right.
That's right. That's right.
I can't believe this is a conversation we're having.
I love that it's a conversation. All right. Hey, GK.
Hard hitting news here on Side Scroller.
That's right.
Pronunciations.
GK came in with a tier 1 sub for 34 months. Says, God, please let there be some Mario Party Superstars DLC announced in the next Direct. Well, we're going to get to the Nintendo Direct stuff here coming up in just a couple of minutes. And Jonathan Bordeaux came in with the $2 super chat. Says, ready for another hard reset, Craig? Listen, today is the day. Day 11.
I was watching. I couldn't help myself.
I feel
was
like this is deja vu. He keeps saying today is the day, and it's not happening.
I was thinking to
It's
myself.
so bad that I've been memeing you on the Instagram on Side Scrollers, which, by the way, we have an Instagram, guys. Check us out. I've been memeing Craig for the last.
Meme it
So
up.
you were
Today's
saying
the day.
today's the day, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe it is the day. Maybe it is. You know what? I want to be there. I want to be there for Craig for when he finally actually beats the lost levels. So I hung out in chat long enough to witness the reset, and it was beautiful and glorious. And I just I want you to stay in purgatory forever.
What's the reset at now?
$1,000.
No.
Excuse me, 999.99.
That's right. It's a deal.
Dang!
Sorry, it's not
Wow.
1,000. It's 999 and 99
Dang,
cents.
bro.
Look, at the end of the day, this is an adventure. It's a story that we're all on together. And people know that when they support the channel, they're supporting side scrollers. They're not supporting me. They're supporting side scrollers. And once we're done, I've said this many times. Once I'm done beating all the Mario games and the Funathon finally comes to an end, then we're gonna put together and we're gonna figure out how to create some new shows and come up with some fun stuff. And you guys know I've already been talking to you guys about this. So we're already planning. We're already the wheels are turning on what to do next. So. We got some good stuff going on, and the Funathon is just a part of it. And but today truly will be the day. It's day 11.
84 years.
Blaz heard that before. Heard that joke before. Done it.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, but
me in
it's
chat
still
yesterday.
84 years.
It's been 84 years. Can you
It's
imagine?
been 11 days.
You know,
Hey,
I memed you on Instagram and put the Celine Dion "My Heart Will Go On" song in it just for you. The 84 years.
Let me just say
Beautiful.
this.
Beautiful.
Let me just say this. The irony of your tie-in there is remarkable because later today we will have a story about the Titanic, and I'm very stoked for that. Sal came in with the 2. Says Adam says the characters are poop. Sorry, I wasn't talking about Adam. That's Blake.
Why are you
said
throwing
this.
my name into that?
Says Adams are poops. And then Blake came in and says, Adam, get a video of a Swede saying it correctly. There you go. See that? See,
Oh my gosh.
video or it didn't happen. Sal, thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Ask the missus
And
to
Blake.
just record a voice line for you and then hold it up.
I don't like how you guys are not actually just trusting me. Like it's kind of lame.
Trust the force.
I very much trust you.
Does my word mean nothing to you guys?
I mean, you're not Swedish. We need to hear from an actual Swedish person.
Maybe it's your American ears hearing it wrong.
Funny enough, I am Swedish.
Are you?
I just happen to be born in America.
How much are you of Swedish? That makes sense.
My mother's family is all Swedish.
There you go. So he's 50% Swede.
Listen,
Well, I consider myself American, but
uh,
I am technically, my roots have Swedish origins.
Okay. Well, look, we can talk about heritage all day long, and that's all great and dandy. But now we
No,
officially
I got another
know.
story about heritage. I'm going to stay on this.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I recently,
This is hard news.
I recently just found the actual ticket to the boat that my great grandfather took
Wow.
to come from Sweden to America.
To Ellis
I
Island?
have the actual ticket. Yeah. Isn't
Wait,
that cool?
when you say you have the actual ticket, does that mean you have a scan or you have the
No.
physical actual ticket?
The actual ticket.
Can you bring it sometime? Like, is it like in an clear envelope or something?
It's currently.
preserving?
I don't have it in my house here. It's at my stuff in my mom's place, but I do have it. I found it in my grandmother's stuff.
That's pretty cool.
I was like, "Is this what I think it is?" She was like, "Yeah, that's the ticket he took,"
cool.
and I'm like, "That's
That's cool.
freaking cool."
See, that is amazing. I
you
see.
might find your relative on a name in Ellis Island because they have
Well,
like, their names listed.
There is a area in Sweden where I know they came from, and there is actually people from that lineage up there. I haven't gone and like tried to meet them, and be like, "Hey, we're actually,
Family!
kind of."
Vin Diesel style.
Technically, we are. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Family.
We're family. That's right. I'll tell you this. What's amazing is I look around at our panel here, our great co-host and our host here, And I see Eric, and I think Eric's family killed a lot of Indians.
Holy
Is it the hat?
Yes.
the different direction.
He's like, oh, I see Eric, and I bet his family murdered everyone.
Let's talk about heritage.
Honestly, I
Oh,
think
he started
I
blasting.
think our families immigrated after that situation.
Oh, okay. All right.
happened.
That's
I do have
Yeah, that's what they
Wild
all
West
say.
Bandit in my family tree. So
you have a
So,
what? I'm
well-
sorry, Eric.
one of my family members ran with the Dalton gang.
The Dalton Gang. Wow.
I've
Who's
heard of that.
Who's the Dalton,
Dalton
Gang?
gang.
The Dalton brothers.
They're like bank robber,
Yeah.
train robbers and stuff.
Wow, see, that's amazing. I knew a girl who was a part of the who are the two families in like North Carolina that have been going back and forth forever. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? The
There's a show about
Hatfields
it.
and McCoys.
Yeah.
Yes,
Hatfields and McCoys.
yes.
McCoys.
yes, and she's like a part of that family, and I met her, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. Amazing
Well, Craig,
stuff.
Craig we're talking about personal heritage right now. You know somebody who has something cool in their family. That's cool and all, but it's
I
not
know,
really
I
what
know.
we're doing.
So I have a little story about my heritage. When me and my mom went to Germany, we were talking with the Germans we were staying with, and my mom told them where our family came from in Germany, and they said, "Oh," and we're like, "What? Oh, what?" She said, "Oh, those are the slow people."
Wow.
So
That's so brutal.
yeah, I
Oh,
thought that was pretty funny.
that explains it. Damn.
Man, that's brutal.
Oh man, that's brutal.
By the way, speaking of brutal, I found this picture of the Dalton brothers, which this is amazing. I don't even know if I'm allowed to show it, but it's all them like lined up dead on the ground. And I don't think I want to show it, but
They used to do death pictures like that, actually, for everybody. They did it for Stalin.
Pretty sure I saw those
Yeah.
in history books in high school.
yeah, it says, and I'm not going to. I will show it. You guys are all mature adults, and everyone here is a mature adult. Let's check this out. It says from left to right.
They're just
Bill
sleeping.
Powers, yeah, Bob
Oh,
Dalton,
Jesus.
Grat Dalton. It says 4 of the 5 men killed when they attempted to rob 2 banks at Coffeyville, Kansas, October 5th, 1892. Emmett Dalton, who was with them, survived 21 bullet wounds.
Wow.
Served times in penitentiary until pardoned.
Well, he
has
was
written
shot
articles
20-something times.
How do you get
Has
pardoned
writ-
for that?
and has been
A lot of
written
it-
articles about how crime doesn't pay. That's amazing.
Well, back
A lot
then,
of those guys also became lawmen. So.
yeah, and back then they were looked at as almost folk hero-ish to some people. You know what I mean? So
No, I don't. How?
They
Robin
just were.
Hoods,
Yeah, well,
but they were keeping the
robbing
money.
them from the man. But these
Man.
death pictures back then, people used to take their relatives after they died and pose them in their house and take a picture with them. It's crazy shit.
There's like taking selfies now. Look at grandma. Let's go.
That's weird.
All right. Let's get into the news today. We got so much to talk about. But before we do, I want to let you know that our boy Zim has come in with the message that simply says, as a cultured guy, I'm seeing a severe lack of balls. I would like to get some balls in my life. I'd appreciate it. I need some massive
all?
balls to really get this show humming. Trust me, it'll make me really, really happy boy. Zim came in with the $50 direct donation. You want balls? You get balls.
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 He's like saying like he's 4. Balls.
Eric, you want to get on this?
Balls.
Balls.
There you go. Love it. All right. Excellent. All
Everyone
right.
just-
My balls.
Thank you, Zim.
No
You
one
are-
knows, but I can still feel my balls.
Oh my God, Steven!
All right. Dude also came in with the $1 Rumble Rant. Says, my mom can trace her heritage back to the Morgans which were a family tied to the Hatfields and McCoys. There you go. And King of Weave says, "How's everyone doing? I'm playing Diablo 4, having fun. P.S. I love beat Big Super Mario World through Star World. Okay, well, thank you, King of Weaves. Enjoy your Diablo 4, and I also love beat Big Super Mario World through the Star World. I'm reading that verbatim. So thank you, King Weaves. Appreciate that. Speaking of Nintendo and all this stuff, let's get into it. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for
Hard News.
It is. All right, here we go. Let's get into it. Listen, this has been rumored for quite a bit, quite a long time. Nintendo Direct coming in June was officially announced this morning, and it's going to be tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Pacific time and 9 a.m. Central time where we're at, 10 a.m. Eastern. Very kind of an odd time to have it so early in the morning. But I guess they want to hit the European audience in the afternoon as well. So they announced it's going to be a 40-minute presentation. It's going to be focused on the Nintendo Switch titles later this year, including Pikmin 4. But there are a lot of rumors built around what they could potentially announce. The key in all that is Nintendo Switch titles launching this year. So coming probably for Christmas. Now is the time where they're going to start talking about the holiday season and announcing games. Kayla, do you have a favorite Nintendo franchise?
Not really. Should I? No, Mario, I guess. Is that?
No, keep your daughter
Eric?
happy.
Yeah.
Hey, it's the first thing that popped in your head, so that counts.
Yeah.
Nintendo. I was always a Sega guy, but I had a Nintendo.
That's all right.
Get
That's
it
all right.
Final-
No one
Final
asked
Fantasy.
you anyway. No one asked you.
I did.
Wait, Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
He asked her, not you.
Well, no. I went over to Eric.
Jump to me right after that.
I love that you still correlate Final Fantasy with Nintendo. That tells me you're OG because that's where they were first released. And obviously, I think most people now correlate Final Fantasy to Sony more than anything else, which is cool. So I think there's definitely
only going to be on the PS5, so it has shifted. But you're right, yeah, Nintendo.
Yeah,
I just played a lot of
original.
Final Fantasy Legends on my Game Boy back when I was little.
Bro, which one? 1 or 2?
All 3.
Oh, I never played the third one. I didn't know there was a
I got
third
them back
one.
in my collection.
One of my favorite games of all time.
get out the box.
Any excuse to pull out my Game Boy box.
If we're talking
segment
Game
for Adam.
Boy,
Well, you want to talk
we're
about Game
talking-
Boys?
if we're talking Game Boy, I'm
she's still
thinking
got
Tetris.
hers.
Tetris was my
Tetris.
favorite game.
Hey, that's a franchise.
Kayla,
There it
hands
is.
up. There it is. Love that.
I'm just saying,
All right,
but
so-
we definitely need a segment for Adam. Anytime he pulls out his box, be like, Adam's box! And shows
Or
up.
just an emote. An emote that's just a box.
What's in the box?
All right. So there's a lot of rumors coming up, including a rumored the new 2D Mario and remake of the classic SNES title. So this is kind of an interesting idea. They're talking about going in and kind of remaking first off a brand new one. And what's interesting about this is built to be kind of like Super Mario Brothers 2, if you will, and that you can play as Mario and Luigi and Princess and I think Toad, and they've had. I think this is one of the
That was
first
a
times
weird
they'll
one.
allow you to. Yeah. But a remake of an SNES classic. That's the thing that I don't quite understand. I don't really know.
I just they're getting to the point where they're like with the movies. We're remaking everything too much now. Come on, make something
Agreed.
new,
Agreed.
so that we can enjoy something new.
Well, I will
Stop
say
No,
doing
they
this.
that
gotta
shit.
destroy it for wokeness.
Is Earthbound SNES?
Yes.
That's a lot of a game that a lot of people have been asking for being remade.
So yeah, that'd be interesting. But if they're gonna remake, I would think they're probably gonna remake. Earthbound is a Nintendo title. I was gonna say it'd be interesting if they go a Super Nintendo title. My first thought would be something like I hope, and also I have no interest in this, is Super Metroid. If they were to announce a Super Metroid remake, especially the reason being is that they're gearing up the Metroid excitement for the release of Metroid Prime 4. So you would think that they'd want to release something that correlates to that as the promotion of that. So I don't know, man.
This is how I think they should do it. Earthbound. Clearly, there's a desire for a remake, although remake versus remaster is its own conversation. Like Diablo 2 Resurrected, they brought back Diablo 2. They did a fantastic job of keeping the core game itself. The story was still the same, but they added new rune words. They added Sunder charms. They amplified the game and made it better. And there was a desire amongst the fans. Like Earthbound, people would be hyped if suddenly they were like, we're doing it. We're redoing Earthbound. But would they be upset if they remade it, or would they be okay with it? It's kind of like this delicate balance for the fans. But what they're not doing, like Travis said, there's too many. They're just kind of going, oh, people like this, but no one's actually asking for these things. They're just kind of like making it because the creativity is dead. They don't want to risk something new. That's what all these companies don't want to do. They don't want to risk anymore. They just want the guaranteed, we know we're going to make money off this IP, and it's kind of getting lazy.
Well, I'll say this. I think that Nintendo has a history. They have a history of a couple things. Number one, releasing peripherals for their consoles that are flash in a pan. Number two, going back and capitalizing on older games, right? They've done that all the way back to the mid '90s, where they released Super Mario Brothers All Stars for the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, but
right?
they don't do it when you want them to. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, it doesn't matter because people will ultimately buy it anyways, whether you want them to or not. Like if Nintendo was to release something when you wanted it, then there wouldn't be demand for it because they got to make you want it. They got to put the carrot out there for you to get it, and then just keep it further away, keep you moving towards the carrot. Because ultimately, when they do release it, you're going to go and hand out all of that money. Like Nintendo is brilliant at that.
I just remember everybody being upset because their online store wouldn't hold the old games that they wanted to play. And if they wanted to make money off of old games, that was the time. Release the old games on your new console.
Well, I think
but they knew that they were going to do this new Nintendo Online where you can play the games that they put into the online service because they want that subscription money. That's the new thing. Get people onto a subscription so that you're making money every month. And keep putting the games there. So you can't buy the games anymore. You're just playing them. You're renting them by paying for a subscription service.
Basically.
It makes me wonder if that's not the path that all gaming will take eventually.
Been talking about this for a decade.
Dude, WoW, the reason I didn't play WoW was because of the monthly payment. Like, I didn't want to pay monthly to play a game. I wanted to buy the game and be able to play it. I don't mind online gaming. I mean, the games that I've been playing, Destiny 2 and Diablo 4, like those are just online only. I liked that Diablo 2 was offline, but I never actually played it offline. I always played it online because I like to trade, I like to play with my friends and all that. So I don't know. I think that it can work, but you got to be bringing it, man. Like you got to be updating and making the community happy. And if you're not, then you're just wasting people's money, I think.
What's interesting about this is, they're talking about, these upcoming releases for the Switch itself. And these are going to be for, 2024 for the holiday season. But there were a lot of reports saying that Tears of the Kingdom was going to be like Nintendo's final major release for the Switch. And maybe that is the case, but I don't know. Maybe they'll announce some DLC for. I'm sure they'll announce some sort of DLC for Tears of the Kingdom, even though the game's only been out for like a month. But I'm sure they'll talk about. I think they'll talk about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It was mentioned previously the idea of having DLC for Mario Party. If they haven't announced DLC for Mario Party, they're not going to announce DLC for Mario Party. That's kind of how I think of it, because I don't know if there's a demand for that, but I would love to see it, but I don't. They haven't announced any of that yet.
Do you
But
think
I don't
that
know.
they're? Do you think where? First off, where did you hear that? Did Nintendo say that Tears of the Kingdom is their last big release?
There have been rumors about it.
Rumors, okay.
Yeah, it's all. So what happens with all these Nintendo Directs is there's always some sort of leaker, right? And oftentimes it's this guy right here, this Pyro ND on Twitter. He's been right about a lot of leaks that have come out, and so I don't know that for certain, but I do know that if you have a track record of success, generally I'll look to you for guidance on that. But this guy apparently, or this person, I don't know who they are. They've been going around for a long time saying that that was going to be the last thing. Now he's also saying about this new 2D Mario game, and this is actually kind of a big deal for Mario fans, is that this will not appear in the title, the new Super Mario Brothers, because a lot of people hate the new Super Mario Brothers series, or at least that's something that's kind of been a growing thing. It's going to be separate from the new Super Mario Brothers, because that was kind of a lot of people saw that as kind of a rinse and repeat, kind of rehash every few years type of thing.
Isn't that funny how consumers could take one little thing that bothers them and it's just done. You're done. It's over.
Right. Right.
Yeah, nobody liked
Right.
Coke 2, new Coke. So
No, not at all. Not at all. But a question for chat. What Super Nintendo title would you like to see remade on the Switch? Because I don't know, my gut says Super Metroid. And if they were to do that, it lines up with everything they have coming up with, once again, one of the big points of emphasis that's been talked about is Metroid Prime 4, because Metroid Prime 4 was originally announced in like the mid 2010s, and then in 2019 they're like, yeah, we're starting over development entirely, and it's been about 4 years, so it makes sense for them to say, guess what, it's coming out this holiday season, 2023, and that would be massive if they were to announce that. So
The
I don't know,
Final
do you guys
Fantasy
have any-
Legends. I love
Final
those
Fantasy
games.
Legends?
Yeah, remake 3 so then I can play it.
I think they just came out. I think it's called Collection Saga. Has the Final
with all
Fantasy
three?
Legend game. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm
I
not
would
sure
like
if
on
it's remade.
Switch.
It's just a collection of the old things that you can play on Switch.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'd like
Yeah.
them to remake Ogre Battle. Most people don't know what game that is, but
They just
I
did.
found it fun. Did they?
Ogre Battle Reborn.
Oh,
There you
Well,
go.
that's
It's
F-Zero's
it's
in that.
incredible.
Is it?
I'm actually still playing it. Yeah, it's I loved Final Fantasy Tactics, so it's one of my favorite games. And Ogre Battle, I think it's Ogre. Am I right, chat? Is it Ogre Battle Reborn? Fantastic. Oh, Chrono Trigger. That would be an awesome remake.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Ken Griffey Jr.
it is
Baseball.
Reborn. Yeah,
I got that one.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Oh, dude, it's so good. It's so far it's so good. I
They
don't
actually
know how
had
far
Ken
I
Griffey
am.
Jr. Baseball in one of the recent shows on PlayStation. Like, there was
Really?
one of the mini games added on.
Wait, what?
It was-
What are you
I
talking
can't
about?
remember it. MLB
Ken Griffey
show
Jr.?
had a Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball. Like, you
Mini
could play
game?
it as one of the mini games.
Oh, that's
Shut
cool.
up! That's amazing. Wow, that's
Like
cool.
3 years ago, I think the show had it.
Wow. Trinity Moonlight says Super Metroid would be great. What are your thoughts on Super Mario World? I would hate that. Don't mess with perfection.
A lot of people in
Don't-
chat are saying F-Zero. And F-Zero is a franchise they haven't
F-Zero.
done a release for in a while. And that was,
True.
I think, my first Super Nintendo game that I ever loved. So
Wow.
that'd be fun.
Well, with that
Yeah.
game, it's almost like they made it look like you were going so fast on the SNES that how are they going to make it seem that way in a new game compared to other racing games? You know what I'm saying?
Have you played the newer Wipeouts?
Mm-mm.
It's kind of the same kind of vibe. Like
Is it?
this shit, it feels like you're going crazy fast. Kind of very similar style.
But then I guess that's my question. F-Zero was always faster than the competition, so how are they going to make it faster than that? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I don't
I-
think it's about competing anymore. If they just want to make a really strong racing game based off that IP.
Yeah, good point.
I think that if you remake a game, whatever game they remake from that era, a lot of people see Super Nintendo as like this golden age of era, a golden age of gaming, right? At least the top games, right? And if you're going to announce a remake of a game, that you are announcing that there's future plans for that franchise as well. Like, and if they announce an F-Zero remake, then there's got to be something coming later on down the line as well for F-Zero. If they announce a Super Nintendo remake or a Super Metroid remake, it lines up with Metroid Prime. If they announce, whatever it is, it will align with something that is coming later on down the line. They're smart about this. They're not dumb. And they use that carrot of the old school to bring in the dads and the moms who played that game in the 90s to then ultimately, when the new game comes out, share that with their kids with the new game. They're not idiots. They're not dumb at all. So, Blake says, hot take: Earthbound is severely overrated.
I never played it, so I have no idea.
Spiff comes in with the 199, says Mylan Secret Castle remake. JK, I'll take Odyssey 2. Yeah, I don't think they'd announce an Odyssey 2 on a whim like this. I don't think they're going to be remaking Mylan Secret Castle either anytime soon. NES title from back in the day.
What kind of game is Earthbound, by the way? I'm just
RPG.
curious.
Yeah, it's Earthbound is like
okay.
It's a very weird RPG.
But an RPG like Final Fantasy, turn-based, or tactics, or
it's a turn-based RPG where you literally
RPG.
fight the final boss of the game as a fetus.
Yeah.
Did you just spoil the game?
No, the game's been out for 30 years. I'm not spoiling anything. But
Spoilers.
Are we on Geeks and Gamers
No,
today?
but yes. No, but yes.
It's crazy, man. And
Maybe I wanted to play it.
Well, you would know. You would know by the time you got into it. But yeah, it's nuts. So
okay.
I've watched some real deep videos about what that game's supposed to be about. I'm not gonna say, but I mean,
you could spoil it,
if you're
Trav. I was just
interested.
kidding. It's fine.
Well, it's an amalgamation about being reborn again, as what the story I read. But
Jesus. Yep. There's a lot of interesting underlying themes with some of those games. I think thinking back even like with RoboCop the movie. It's like you guys heard that thing about how RoboCop's supposed to be about Jesus and the reborn? No, you never.
Oh, I mean, it makes sense now that I think about it. Yeah.
I guess.
Eric and Kayla, you guys ever heard that before?
I haven't. No.
I haven't, but it makes sense.
Chat's saying that it's kind of like Dragon Quest, though. Earthbound, like a modern day Dragon Quest.
I never played Dragon Quest
franchise I like.
Dude came in with the $5 Rumble rant, says, the moment gaming goes all digital, I will stop caring about the modern releases. I don't want to lose access to purchases because I employ wrongthink. I understand that,
Smart.
dude.
Smart.
Thank you very much.
Have they
Nintendo
ever
has a lot of
remade
digital stuff.
Yeah. Have they
was
ever? Go ahead.
While the Switch has a lot of digital stuff, I feel like they're the one console that still does mostly physical. Like, you buy a Xbox or PlayStation game, most of the time it's just a digital download code that you're getting inside the box.
Yeah, that annoys the crap out of me.
You still have to
Yeah.
download all the games.
And it's
Why
the
do you
same
buy
price.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
Meanwhile, you get a Switch game, you still got the little carts. And
So
you
they
play
can
it
charge you
without having an internet.
the same amount of money for a cardboard box.
Right.
Exactly.
It's
That's
not
what
just a
it
cardboard
is.
box. It's
Oh,
also
it's got
the
a code in it. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're talking about the digital version. No,
Yeah,
you're not getting anything physical. It's the convenience of being able to play like the second it goes live instead of having to go buy the game. You can actually just play it immediately. But then again, it cuts you off from actually owning the physical copy of the game.
Yeah, but with
That's
a lot
why I
of
got the
physical-
disc PS5.
With a lot of physical copies today, it's just like almost like the base game, and there's already an update pushed out for day one, so you still have to update it and connect to the internet too.
But if you're not on the internet at all, the game doesn't know there's an update, and you could just play it.
What if it's broken?
But you have to download the game before you can even play it, though. Like, you have the physical disc, but there's nothing on that disc. You still have to download it from the
Yeah,
server
sometimes
before
that happens.
you
I
can
think that
play
was
it.
for like the
Xbox
Lego
and-
Star Wars one.
Wasn't that more online-based games?
No, a lot of the Xbox and PlayStation games I've gotten recently, you put the disc in and it says, okay, we got to download something, then you can play it. Even
You
if
gotta
you're not
download,
connected.
and then you gotta install it, and it
Yeah.
takes
But
like,
are you connected to
hour.
the internet? Because like if you're not connected to the internet and you plug it in, is it going to work, or is it checking the server and going, oh, there's an update for this game?
I feel like Red Dead 2, you needed
See
to
what I
download
mean?
something.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I don't know, Adam. I really don't. I've never heard
No, Red
anybody
Dead 2
having
had
that
an
issue.
install disc.
Everyone
All
turn
right.
off their internet when they get a new game and see what happens.
Exactly.
Red Dead 2
Never
is
tried
a
it without the
huge game.
internet.
That is
It
a
had
big
2
game.
discs. There was an
All right.
install disc, and then you go back to the play disc. So
Wow.
As we sit here and we talk about this, I've been formulating a theory about what I think the Super Nintendo game
Craig's
could be.
theory.
Yeah, and
it's just Mortal Kombat 1.
No, it's not Mortal Kombat 1, although a remake of Mortal Kombat 1 has been talked about for a long time, and I would love to see it. But I think, and there's a larger play here, that the remake of the Super Nintendo game could be a remake of Donkey Kong Country, all
can
three
see
of
it.
them, with the idea of it tying in to the announcement of a Donkey Kong movie later on
right.
down the line.
Yeah, you're hitting it right on the
see that.
head.
I was kind of just thinking that too.
Well, especially if you think about it, then they can have a whole bunch of games they can roll out and make a bunch of money off of.
That's my
instead of
least
just
favorite
one.
character in that movie, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Right.
So bad.
That's where I would not be surprised if they go that way. If it's not Super Metroid, then maybe Donkey Kong Country. Treated in the same way of like an All Stars, Donkey Kong Country All Stars, to where they remake it with the new graphical style 1 through 3, but they also have the ability to go back and play it 16-bit style as well. That'd be spectacular.
Do you think that they would sell it individually as 1, 2, and 3, or 1, 2, 3 together?
Combo pack, $60. $60
That's one of
bucks.
See, I was
That's one of the
thinking
things
they'd
Diablo
maximize.
2 did that I thought was really interesting. You can hit a button. I don't remember whatever. It was the button that would revert the graphics style. So you could be mid-game, you can hit this button, and it would just be like, whoop, and go back to what it looked like in 2003 or 4, whenever Diablo 2 came out. And the difference is like mind-blowing. Like, I'm like, I played like that? Like, that's what I played this game, what it looked like back in the day? And now I'm playing the normal version of it. And it's like, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful looking game now. It's just hard to believe that how far along we've come. It's crazy to see when you have like an instant switch and it just boom, it just switches mid-game, like instantaneous switching. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
after playing that game for so long, you get so used to it. And when you're
Mhm.
playing the new one, you think, oh, this is the same as it was. No, it's not. It's not anything like it was.
Oh, I knew
Yeah.
it's not the same. I trust me, I know that, but it's a lot more of a difference than you'd think.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
There was Command and Conquer did that. You
I can
mentioned
actually
Diablo
show
2.
you guys. I could pull it up and do it right now. You want to
I
see
mean,
it?
go ahead.
3 remake was amazing in that. I think that might have been one of the first
You said
remakes to have the 8-bit style. Just flip a button and you're back to 8-bit.
you said
Yeah.
Which
Command
game?
and Conquer did it?
Wonder Boy 3, the Dragon Strap.
Oh, I don't know that one.
I've
And,
never heard of Wonder Boy.
As Boba Fett says, Halo 1, you could switch between the remastered and the OG graphic instantly. And that was
Cool.
That was mind-blowing as well in the remastered collection. That was really, really cool.
Craig, you
really,
said
really cool.
Command and Conquer you could do that?
Apparently, yeah. In the Command & Conquer remaster, you could do that. Yeah,
I did not know that. I was a big fan of Command and Conquer games.
yeah. While Adam pulls that up, I'm going to read off a few of these super chats here. It says, Blake Barrett says, Texting the Bread remake Shadow Drop. No, that ain't going to happen. Just for those of you guys who don't know, that's an old iPhone game I published back in the day, and it was meant to be like Typing of the Dead, except with your texting, and you killed little gingerbread men. It was fun. Saint G came in with the 2, says PlayStation Xbox disc can install while offline. Okay, thank you, Saint G, appreciate that. And Spiff came back, says Hogwarts Legacy couldn't pass the tutorial without DL, I guess download.
Download.
Yeah. Thank you, Spiff. Appreciate that. That's interesting. And Dude came in with a $5 Rumble rant. Thank you very much. Says Series X games have been putting more on the game on the disc now due to the criticism of the Xbox One era. Yeah, for sure.
Good.
There's a lot of criticism around that. I want to remind you guys, if you guys are just tuning in, guys, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. We'd really appreciate it, whether you're watching over on Rumble or whether you're watching on YouTube. Or if you're watching on Twitter, if you're like the one or two, do us a favor, hit the retweet button. We'd really appreciate that. And spread the word. Let people know that we are live over on Twitter today. in addition to Twitch. A quick reminder that if you are watching on Twitch, we will not be signing the new terms of service over on Twitch, and it will be eventually kicked off. So make sure you make the move over to Rumble or YouTube or anywhere else. Let's check out what Adam Krigler has going on over here. What do we have, Adam?
All right, so this is the old version of the game. This is my level 93 Paladin with all the classics, you know, the Herald of Zekarum, the Haas, the Enigma.
What a flex.
You know, flexing my level
flexing his
93.
gear.
All right, now, but look at this one button, and you go back to this.
Oh,
Look
I
at
thought okay.
Look
go
at the
ahead.
difference. Look at the difference, though. Like, that's just insane.
Yeah, it's mind blowing.
Well, hold on. I actually like the second one more. I like
Yeah,
I like the classic
snow
graphics more.
effect.
Yeah. Where's the snow in the new game?
It's not snowing right now.
Yeah.
It changes.
Wait. Well, no, but it's snowing in the
Remove the
classic game.
weather.
It's always snowing in the city when you're here in the classic version of the game.
Oh,
But
okay.
this, it comes and goes.
Oh, the weather. Okay.
But I mean, I just love that, man. The difference is just absolutely bonkers. It actually
pretty
runs
cool.
a lot better. Runs a lot better. I have a
not
lot
really
going on
looking
my
to the
computer right
difference.
now, but yeah, insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. I love that. Love it. I love when games do that. That's such a neat feature. That's like well thought out, and just the idea that you have these two games essentially going at the exact same time. Really, really great. All right. So, anyways, yeah, Nintendo Direct coming tomorrow. We will certainly talk about that. Once again, we're going to be live over on Geeks and Gamers tomorrow. No spoilers.
Back on.
I hope so. We'll see. We'll see. But that'll be tomorrow, and it'll be totally wrapped up by the time we go live. So there'll be lots to talk about tomorrow over on Geeks and Gamers. So
Were you a Hammerden or a Zealer?
That was
Adam?
Hammerden.
Okay, that's what.
I have multiple characters. That was I have an Uber Smiter. Oh man, Diablo 2.
Pretty rare of a character, Smiter. Most people don't do Smiters.
Well, I had built it just to kill Ubers,
Oh,
so
that makes sense.
just to farm torches.
all right, let's go on to some
I-
other news. as if I can pull us away from Diablo talk.
You get me going on Diablo, man.
I know.
it's
I know.
one of
I
my
know.
favorite.
I love it. I love it. By the way, Elite Neo came in with the $5 super chat. Says, no spirit sacred Targe, Adam. How are you going to hit the 125% faster cast rate breakpoint?
That doesn't. The difference doesn't bother me. Between like where I think I'm sitting at like 90 or something. I don't know. 100. Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah, it becomes
It's
negligible.
not
at
a
point.
must. That's some I don't know, try hard shit. It doesn't bother me.
I just said a bunch of words. I don't even know what I just said in that super chat. So thank you.
I
Elite Neo.
understood it.
Well, but the Sacred Targe, a spirit is a rune word, and the Sacred Targe you can get with 45 resistance on it. So that rune word built into the Sacred Targe, it's like you get faster cast rate, then the Haas doesn't give you that, but you also get more damage with the Haas shield.
I totally understand what you're talking about.
Hey, I'm
This
okay.
is like him speaking Chinese.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's what it
god,
feels
that's
like.
awesome.
No, he said in PvP it does. Yeah, absolutely. I don't PvP with my Hammerden though.
Yeah, why you would use a Zealer or a Smiter? Why would
Different
you?
language.
No, I would actually
this-
PvP with a Hammerden because I'm pretty good at target locking, and with a Hammerden, if you can do that, it's like they're
Yeah,
pretty
most
toast.
people can't do that.
So, yeah, I like low level dueling anyway. I don't really do dueling at high
Time to move
levels.
on.
Poor Adam.
I love it.
Wah, 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 wah.
I love it. I just like it. Just sounds like you're speaking German to me. I have no idea what you're. And I love it. I love it. Man,
I'm talking to chat, man.
the chat knows. You're talking to Elite Neo. That's who you're talking about.
I like Elite, man. He's cool. He knows. He's a Diablo
bros.
player. I like Diablo players.
All right. Hey, we've been following this story for the last couple of weeks, as most people have. The Call of Duty Nick Mercs thing. That's been quite interesting. And Nick Mercs came back and streamed yesterday for the first time and addressed a lot of things, and I figured we'd talk about a couple of these things that he touched on. First, about the companies that reached out to him during this whole thing, and there's one glaring omission about this. So I wanted to kind of show this to you, and we'll watch this and react to it. You guys just tell me when you guys want me to stop, and we'll kind of go from there. Okay. So this was Nick Mercs yesterday on his stream.
Got to give a bunch of love to all of our partners, man, that gave me a chance to like hear me out, you know. He just, you know, Call of Duty didn't even, you know, full transparency. You know, they didn't even give me a chance. They didn't even talk to me. And I'm only bringing that up because everybody else did. Everybody else did. Like every other partner I have, everybody else, man, like we at the very least had a conversation.
Can we pause it for 1 second?
Yep.
This was my whole issue. And this is what I said. This is a good way to throw allies out the fucking window and push them away, is because this guy who has in the past been clearly supportive of our community, clearly, okay? And then so he says one thing you disagree with, and fuck him, he's a homophobe, he's transphobe, he's out. Because he said one thing that happens, and it wasn't even anything bad. It just happened to disagree with me slightly. You're out.
You know,
you're gone.
What I've been called all these things as well because of my firm stance on certain things, and I just need to say it. Like, it doesn't mean I'm against gay people because I've been labeled all these things. Like, I don't care. I know that it's the people that are using these different movements to get closer to kids, the actual predators. That's who we're all worried about. All right, that people, if they may be gay, they may be straight. I don't fucking care. If they're going after children, we have issues, and they're using these new, like, I don't know, ideologues and the movement to get in and get close to children, and they're predators, and like that's what we're against. Leave the kids alone. And even what he was talking about, it's like I fully agree. It is up to the parents to teach their children about this stuff. If they want to be bigots and teach their kids to be bigots, I think that sucks, but it's their fucking right as a parent. I don't want that to be the case because I think a true person's character lies in who they are and their moral values. Like, just because Travis is gay, like, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, Travis is funny and he grills Craig like no one else, and I love that, you know? And it's like, what does it matter? Like, what who he likes to sleep with? Like, it's irrelevant. It's so stupid.
Right. And like, look at Smith. Smith says he didn't even know Trav was gay. Happy Pride Month. I was like, dude, like, what? You don't know because Trav doesn't come in and
wave a pride flag.
Right. It's not like something that
I'm
Trav
gay,
comes
I'm
in.
here, I'm queer, I'm
Slay Queen.
Right. Like every chance you get, it's like, wow, you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah.
But
unless it comes up when we're in a discussion about something that's relevant to that. You know
Yeah,
what
exactly.
I mean? Or I make a gay joke, but you know.
Right. Well, what's interesting though is that, you know, Nick has gone on and said, like, and we'll continue watching this. There's about another 40 seconds of this, but he was reached out to by every company except Call of Duty.
It sounds like Disney with Gina Carano.
I would like to know that company list because those are the companies I want to support.
Right. Well, let's continue.
Like, hey, Nick, listen, man. You know, you can understand why these thoughts might be a little bit, you know, provocative and whatnot. We just kind of want to talk to you, our partner, and get like a deeper understanding as to what you meant. You know, how you feel. Call of Duty's the only one, man. They just yanked the fucking rug on me. No conversation about it. Now, they can make that decision. I'm not saying that they can't, but I just think it's kind of crazy that not even a conversation, huh? You know, and chat, listen, can we agree on something? Yo, hold on. Of all the companies, you know, and I really, my manager's not going to want me to say this, man, but I just got to keep it a buck. Bro, of all the companies, Call of Duty?
Yeah, the one that used FAG as an acronym.
Yeah.
Right,
You know,
right.
Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's the company? Is anybody else bamboozled by that? I am. Jesus Christ, man. I didn't even say anything. Fuck.
Well, and here's
I keep
the craziest.
thinking. It's like I went up there and did a speech. Got to give a bunch of love.
The craziest part about this whole thing, right, is that so he's not even he's owed a conversation and owed that in my mind because he works with them. He's put their product out there.
Yeah,
You know
they're
what I'm
selling
saying?
his likeness in the
Right.
game.
He made them money, so he's owed that conversation. But the conversation is not even required to see that he's not homophobic or transphobic. Just go look at the past things he said.
Right.
You don't even need the fucking conversation.
What is amazing is you see all these companies virtue signaling, and you see all these brands in gaming, all these streamers who are virtue signaling, going out of their way saying, hey, happy Pride Month. Hey, happy whatever, BLM, whatever. And that's fine. You can take that stance. But they all took it in 2020 when it was the cool thing to do. They all do it in June when it's the cool thing to do. What are you doing the rest of the time? And all those
Except
people
Middle
back
East.
in well, right. And all those people back in 2020 who were raising their fist in the air saying, hey, listen, we're in this together, haven't done anything since then. Done nothing to support the cause.
They did.
And they're all
Hold on.
hypocrites.
There's a grievous error in what you just said. You said they haven't done anything since then. They didn't do anything then. Putting up your fist in the air, putting a black square on your Instagram, or painting your face, whatever the fuck they were doing, that doesn't do shit.
But
All it
make
does
them
is
more
virtue
money.
signal.
Yes.
No,
makes them more
it doesn't
money.
it doesn't even make them money. It makes them feel good. It makes them think that they're doing something. They're getting virtue points online. That means jack shit in helping an actual community that needs help or needs support.
Yeah, that's one of the things that bothers me the most is, oh, we're so how have you helped homeless gay people or homeless teens who get kicked out because their parents don't like who they are or whatever. It's one of the things that I was going to say to Rich, Rich, that's nice for you to say you've always been supportive of the LGBTQ plus whatever community, but you've only started saying that stuff recently when you get attention for it. And I've noticed you never say what you support of those communities. You always use it and then attack somebody. So why is there always an attack with it? You can't just say, hey, go support this thing, donate money, and maybe help these people. But then he says, I support these people, but this guy's a homophobe. So he uses us as a tool.
Trav, that's some very homophobic talk coming from you right now. I think you need to tone it down. All right? You might offend yourself.
I do. Or I might offend somebody for me.
Sure.
Hey.
Yeah, exactly. somewhere out there, someone is offended for you on your behalf.
Yep.
From your own words.
Speaking of Rich, I would like to announce that Melanie Mack will be joining us next Thursday, the 29th. So look forward to having Melanie back on the show. Should be really, really fun.
She caught the bouquet at Chrissy Mayer's wedding. I don't know if you saw that. It's pretty fun.
That was a hell of a catch, wasn't it? She caught it over her head backwards.
Listen,
Like
we're going to talk about that because we'll definitely talk about when she's on because she was on fire. All right, let's continue this because
NBA
Nick
Jam
Mercs,
style.
Yeah, it was straight up. Nick Mercs continued about all the people and all the support that he's seen since then, and you're going to notice one common theme here as we watch this.
That was a different clip. Okay.
All the people that came to me privately, you know what I mean, like DMs, phone calls, and texts, and it would always start with, "Hey man, can't publicly, go to bat for you."
That's a shame.
Where have we heard that
That's
before?
shit.
Where
When Gina got fired.
Where are the famous gay people? This is my problem now. They're all subdued into silence too. What the fuck is going on?
It's
the
everyone.
community who supposedly had to fight for our rights, and we're all being turned into little bitches.
Let's continue.
Basically, is what they were saying. They just don't want to be. And I mean, I understand not wanting to be in the mess because it gets a little bit crazy. I mean, I didn't want to be in it either, but at the same time, I stand by everything that I said, and that's where I'm at. That's where I land.
Respect.
So he didn't back down at all, which is great.
Major respect, dude.
For sure.
I
But the
just-
idea of
Go ahead.
go ahead,
Sorry.
Trev.
It just really bothers me because after living in California around, deep embedded into our community, and hanging out with the older generation who literally were at Stonewall, you know what I'm saying? And now we can't even speak up and support this guy who's clearly not homophobic. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But we can message him privately and be like, "Oh, I agree with you." Blah blah blah. No, stand the fuck up. Say something.
Right. And I mean, I think that's the biggest issue is people go, and I've seen this consistently with me. People reach out to me literally all, probably once or twice a week. People reach out and they say, "Hey, I love what you're doing. I wish I could say it publicly." And here's the reality of it. All these people who think that they have all these people who think like they're wrong. They all think they're weirdos. They like I'm telling you, I've had people reach out to me who present themselves as left and pro as you can possibly be. Like that is their brand. But they're like, "Hey man, low key, just letting you know, like what you're doing is the right thing." And it's like, what you're doing is the wrong thing, and that's the crazy thing about wrong thing by not saying anything, and
Well, it's just so sad because we're the people who wanted somebody to say something for us, and now we won't say something for somebody else. Are you fucking kidding me?
yeah.
What game was Nick Mercs playing anyway?
He was playing Apex. He switched
See?
over to Apex.
And
yeah.
what does Apex have? A lot of gay characters in it.
Yeah. How dare he? How dare he?
Yeah, that's what Dr.
anyways,
Disrespect's been playing too, Apex.
They're probably just rolling up on everybody.
Hey,
anyways, just a quick
way to
update
be
on
Call
this
of
story.
Duty giving them the promotion.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
X-Defiant is coming up. The beta's today, actually, if you had it in ahead of time.
Yeah, that game looks wicked. Looks pretty
Mhm.
cool.
I've been playing it.
Manga the Hungry talking about the remakes says, what if it's a Link to the Past? Didn't they announce a Zelda movie? No, they have not announced a Zelda movie yet.
Yeah, that would.
Speculation.
They always do like April Fool's Zelda show, but no
Yeah.
actual Zelda movie.
And Spiff came back, says, funny how it always picks up around election.
Yeah, it's wedge issues, like we talked about last week. They're all fucking wedge issues.
Right.
A remake of A Link to the Past kind of already exists. Now, I know it's a different game, but A Link Between Worlds really does feel like, because it's a very similar map. It's very much the same game but different. I don't know. It really does feel like A Link to the Past 2, A Link Between Worlds.
Well, and
You got to play that, Craig. It's amazing.
I know.
If they would have to do A Link to the Past right, because that's a lot of people's favorite Zelda game.
It's amazing.
Can you imagine if you fucked that up?
Yeah, that is a fantastic game.
Kyle came in with the...
Yeah, it is good. Superfluous.
With $4.99 says it's weird to brag about who you like to sleep with. Like if I went around saying I love Asian women, it's weird. Pride parades had more meaning before, right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, it was when we celebrated the fight that we had to go through. Well, now we're not even willing to fight. So what do we celebrate?
Yeah, I don't
Bakery
feel like
says-
it's turned. It used to be we're celebrating that we can actually be out and about and like live our lives, and now it's turned into we're celebrating that we like to sleep with who we like to sleep with, and it's like, what? That's not what it was about at all.
Right.
They completely shifted it
To
to
be
what
honest,
they're actually celebrating.
Now that we have majority of our rights, what our community should be doing is fighting for people who don't have theirs.
They don't want to do that. They don't want to acknowledge that there's still 50 million slaves alive today. There's more lives, slaves alive today right now on this planet, current age than ever. 50 million worldwide. People don't talk about that shit. They just want reparations and want to celebrate pride. It's like, what is wrong with you guys?
It was just yesterday we were talking about the Native American girl, right? And I
exactly.
said the stat that Native American girls are like abducted and like murdered and sexually trafficked at 300% higher than any other race or community or whatever, which is crazy.
But me. That's what the culture is. It's all about me. Me. I need to focus on me. I deserve it. I'm entitled. I. It's like, God, get over yourself.
I just want to read
go
that.
Heroes like Alan Turing and Sally Ryder were celebrating. The persecution they faced is worth some reflection. I wish pride wasn't reduced to sex. Yeah.
Nailed it.
I like that movie. What's
awesome.
it called? The Imitation Game.
It was a great
Alan
movie,
Turing.
wasn't it? A good movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
Great
good.
music, great everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And Heretic came in with the $2 direct donation. Says, I posted on Facebook why leave kids alone was so triggering. Straight white males telling me it's a right-wing clutch to ban LGBT stuff being taught in schools and blocking me. Ironically, LGBT friends were the ones saying they don't want it in schools.
Right. So here I am saying I agree. Am I a homophobe or trans? It's like what I said. I said somebody on Twitter said something. They're Nazis, and I said, "Well, I agree with them. Does that make me a fucking Nazi? I'm gay. You stupid fuck."
Yeah. I bet they ignored you.
Yeah,
They
didn't say a word.
I got my blinders on. No. I'm focused on the one example that fits my narrative.
Right.
And Gino came in and says, we're all part of one race, the human race. That's right. There we go.
Yep.
That's really what it comes down to. Thank you, Gino. Appreciate that. All right, let's move on to our next story here. We keep track of entertainment, and this has been a common theme here on YouTube. Has been censorship, self-censorship, things you can and cannot say. Recently, and I don't want to dig too far into this, but I think this is a byproduct of everything that's happened. Recently, RFK Jr., who is a Democrat candidate for the presidency, was on Joe Rogan, and they talked about vaccines and all sorts of stuff. Anyways, there have been a lot of reports of YouTube censoring any and all clips of that interview on YouTube, to the point of actually banning entire channels, just based on people talking about that interview.
Let me guess. He disagrees with the mainstream about one issue, right? So he's not okay.
Right.
Just
and
wondering.
If you watch, I mean, I encourage everyone to go watch the interview because, well, it doesn't even matter. But the big thing is that, obviously we've seen YouTube with their censorship, which is just insane to think about. And now RFK has apparently, I don't know if he signed a deal with, but he has signed with Rumble, which we are also on. And or at least he's going to be doing things on Rumble for the first time, which it's kind of a big deal because Rumble has been labeled this, it's a right-wing platform and whatever. And this is a Democratic, leader potentially for the candidacy of the president of the United States. And I think that's kind of a big deal.
He said he was censored for 18 years.
Yeah.
Like, that's a long fucking time.
I said this on my show yesterday based off, we were talking about this whole thing with him versus Dr. Hotez, because that's where there's this huge controversy. Who he's actually, it's funny, he's bitching and complaining about Twitter not being like a place for him anymore, because for some reason he doesn't want to actually bring facts to try to debunk this dangerous misinformation that
you talking about Hotez?
Dr. Hotez, yeah, and it's kind of funny. Shit, what was I started making fun of Hotez. I forgot what I was going to say. I was saying yesterday that he reminds me of a Democrat, that how I pictured Democrats, like growing up, when I wasn't political at all, when I pictured Democrats and Republicans. Like, he's the kind of person that I was like, oh, that's like the Democrat because this was back in when I was growing up. There wasn't that much of a difference between the left and the right. It was kind of like this blend in the middle where there would be certain things that they would disagree on, but most people agreed, do the best for Americans, try to be as fiscally, that's might be a joke, but I don't know, it seems like he's really kind of like that classic Democrat in my mind. Whereas even Democrats now, or where they've shifted so far to the left, they look over to the right, and he's standing with the people on the right side, which, I mean, I'm labeled as right-leaning, which is fine. I feel like I'm more centrist because I don't know. I agree with certain things on the left and I agree with things on the right, and I don't like having labels at all because there's so many different things that we can discuss that have different opinions on. But he's very opinionated, and I like that he's coming out and being strong in his opinions. And a lot of these opinions are against the narrative. And if you're against the narrative, you're a right-wing Nazi. That's just kind of the way they do things. And he is it's shocking that he's a Democrat. I actually, hear him talk about certain stuff, and I'm like, why are you a Democrat? Like, that doesn't feel like the Democratic Party now, like where the
He's
DNC
old
is.
school.
But we think about, this is very political, but I don't care. We're already going here, and you got me going. The Uniparty, there really is no difference between like the legacy Democrats and the legacy Republicans. Like, they really work together. It's all just this smoke and mirrors game to, like, it shifts one way, it shifts the other way. They all are talking and having orgy parties, cocaine orgy parties in DC. They don't give a shit. All right, I'm done.
Right.
Sadly,
Take the mic. Take the mic.
Well,
sadly, they've all been pushed further away from the center because the only thing that gets attention in the news when they talk is the wedge issues. So unless we're arguing about these issues that really don't matter, some of them kind of matter sometimes, whatever, but really they're not really that big of issues, but they're made into giant issues because the news people are like, look at this. They don't agree on this. We need to talk about this. So what about gay stuff? You know what I'm saying? So it's almost the only thing that the news can make money on.
So Matalaman says, why would they debate? He isn't an expert. He's a lawyer. Well, that's exactly why you should debate him, because if the stance is so strong, if the science is so settled, then Hotez would simply just wipe the floor with what the Kennedy's talking about. It would just absolutely decimate them. It would be so simple.
No, look. Dr. Hotez doesn't need to debate him, but what he is claiming is that it's misinformation coming from him.
Right.
Put out a fucking video. Put out a video saying this statement. Here's the data that disproves it. This statement. Here's the data that disproves it. No, the community wouldn't be happy. The people that want to see them debate would be, oh, it's a cop-out. But he's not even doing that. He's just being like, how dare you try to debate me? Like, I'm not going to, like, blah, blah, blah. You're not a doctor. This and that and that. And it's like, he's not doing it. Now he's bitching that people are, like, demanding to get a debate. And it's like, dude, don't even debate. I get that you won't want to debate, because I personally think he would get destroyed by facts. Because if you've listened to RFK, like, the guy knows what he's talking about. He's not an idiot. It's like the same thing people were talking about Rand Paul. They were like, oh, well, Fauci's a doctor and Rand Paul isn't. It's like, Rand Paul is a fucking doctor.
Yeah,
like
he's a doctor, so is his dad.
He is a doctor. Like, but that's the kind of shit. But then these same people are going like, well, Bill Gates knows. He talks about it. It's like, that dude isn't a doctor. He created viruses so that you had to get new fucking antivirus software. Talking about computer viruses, YouTube. Jeez, oh my goodness. Anyway.
Yeah, it's just I swear it's one of these things that our election season has been stretched out. So it's almost like the election season was this, but then we got to this 24-hour news cycle, and they needed to talk about something on the news. So what's it going to be? Let's stretch. So they started stretching these issues until now we're in a perpetual like election cycle where
they're creating issues though.
Yes,
they're making shit up where there isn't anything. Like racism.
When the news channels create the news for ratings, we have a fucking problem.
And that's been going on for a long time. I mean, the National Defense Authorization Act snuck in the Smith-Mundt Act that didn't actually pass. Obama tried to pass it with the government in 2012. It passed in 2013 in the National Defense Authorization Act, and that added the ability for news corporations to lie to us as Americans. Propaganda was, since the Cold War, it was like they didn't want information that American public was getting going elsewhere to other countries. I mean, the internet kind of like shot that all to death anyway, but now because of that act, they could just like lie and it doesn't matter. Like everything that they say could be a complete and utter bullshit lie. And let's be real, it is.
Well, and think about it. So what if let's say there's a 30-minute news show. If they actually sat down and talked about the 1,300-page bill and the facts in it, they would be so bored out of their mind nobody would watch it. So instead, they create this argument about something else that will get people to watch.
All right,
just TLDR.
I'm gonna say or ask, can we change the subject?
Yes. No, absolutely. I've been
Please.
trying to for 5 minutes.
I want to get off this because
Yeah.
you get me going. Like I know a lot about all this stuff, and like I don't want to talk about this shit, dude.
Well,
You know what I mean?
But I wanted to talk about this.
It's
because
relevant,
It is
but-
worth talking about that once again. Tonight he's gonna have his first live stream over on Rumble at 6 o'clock Central Time, and I'll be interested to see what kind of numbers those pull. You know
what else is going live today, which I'm actually really hyped about?
What's that?
Normal World. Have you guys know about this?
Oh yeah.
Quarter
Yeah.
Black Garrett is starting his new show today, and I'm so excited. My buddy Flawedzilla is going to be on there. Flawed TV. He's been on the show. We got to get Quarter Black on. I'm sure we can get him on. And he's starting a new show for Blaze TV with Dave Landau, and I'm just so excited for him, man. I love seeing friends be successful, and Garrett is one of my favorites on the internet. So, and Flawed as well. Both those guys are fantastic. So, check it out. It's on Blaze and also YouTube. I'm just would love to promote them. Not sponsored, just love them. So, thank you.
All right, I'm gonna ask our guests. We have time for one story. Do you want to go in and talk about this Titanic stuff, or would you rather talk about this dude getting kicked out of a gym? Y'all get to pick.
You pick.
You pick.
Please pick.
She loves the movie Titanic, so let's go.
Let's
Okay.
go with Titanic, yeah.
All right, this is a story that has been captivated. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. It's been captivating over the last couple days, where there is a company that they have a tiny little submarine that's has enough room for 5 people, and they go down to visit the Titanic in like kind of an exploration type thing. People pay $250,000 to go do this, and this is a company called OceanGate, I believe, and they pay $250,000 to go down and to go see kind of the rubble of the Titanic. Well, this submarine that most recently went down has it's gone missing, and it's been a constant stream of information. As a matter of fact, they just had a press conference about this as we've been live. But it went down in about an hour and 45 minutes into their descent or whatever. The Coast Guard said they lost contact with them. Now, this was a few days ago, and they only have a few pieces.
96 hours of life support, by the way.
Right.
That's
Of
what they
oxygen,
had.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I wanted to watch a couple of videos about this and kind of talk about this, because this is pretty fascinating to kind of see what an absolute mess this is. This entire setup.
Well, and here's the thing. This is a brand new company, by the way. They just
I wouldn't
started.
trust it.
This is the second trip down that they've taken people on. And
Okay.
and it's actually a billionaire is the guy who's on there. The first trip got canceled because imagine that they lost contact with the sub the first time, and the sub couldn't find the Titanic the first time, so they brought them back and then gave them vouchers to go again.
Well, I don't know if this maybe they've gone down before, but maybe not all the way to the Titanic. But I want to kind of watch one of these videos here. It says the submarine that went missing while taking people on tours to see the Titanic used a cheap Logitech controller and other off-the-shelf parts. Just take a look at this.
Pieces of seemed improvised. You can use these off-the-shelf components. I got these from Camper World. We run the whole thing.
Oh, that's good. Let's test Camper World.
So
Look at that piece of shit.
They move around.
So-
with
Those controllers
this
suck.
Logitech.
So right, you run out of AA batteries and your sub stops working.
That's the cheapest looking
Right.
controller I've ever seen.
I would use that for gaming, let alone
Can
going
you
Right.
underwater
imagine
and
though,
stuff.
I wouldn't
just
use that.
sitting there? Like you can't even stand up. Like I thought this was like a actual,
No,
you
no,
can
no,
stand
no.
up inside of it. No, you're just sitting there.
Yeah,
So,
so-
imagine if you're claustrophobic and you can't even stand. You can't even
It also
stretch.
looks like
I would lose
it's
my
just it's just screens in there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
are,
what's the
like,
point of going?
Are they going down just to look at things through a camera?
Well, they
Yeah,
have a
like,
small
there's no windows?
porthole. There's a small porthole on the front, but here's the thing: It's so much pressure that they can't put windows besides tiny little ones like
So
this.
why the hell would you go in that thing and go underwater? That's the
And
most
spend all that
asinine thing I've
money.
ever seen.
Yeah, that's the
All right.
that's the crazy part. And the American government
do
doesn't
that?
even have a sub that can go down there and rescue them. That's
So-
so
Yeah,
crazy.
it's
Oh
like
my
13,000 feet down or some shit. Crazy.
So so you got to hear this. This guy's name is David Pogue, and he was on the same submarine that went missing. They said he got down 37 feet and had to turn around because of mechanical issues.
Yeah,
So
this was the first one I was talking
37
about.
feet.
Okay. This is amazing. Just watch. This is amazing. Oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, you see the little porthole on front though? That's
Right,
how big
right.
the window is.
Oh, you know what? Let me actually reload this really quick. Hold on. This is
Twitter
like an
video.
amazing. Yeah, Twitter really needs to up their video game for sure. The video game for sure. All right, here we go. Check this out.
What do you think happened here? From having been in it and having experienced it, and you talk about the mechanical issues, I know it's purely a guess, but what is your best guess?
I can tell you exactly. There's only a few possibilities. So this thing has 7 different ways to return to the surface, different ways of releasing ballast or inflating air balloons or using the propellers. So there's backups of backups of backups. So if it is not at the surface, then only one of two things could have happened. Either it snagged on something, like a big fishing net or even part of the Titanic, or there was a leak, in which case it would implode instantly and it's over. So if you want to look optimistically at it,
That's what I think happened.
lost power, but they have 3 more days of air and they're bobbing on the surface somewhere, and we just can't find them because they don't have power.
Yeah,
It's
I found
either-
it interesting that the Coast Guard there basically said this is a 2-pronged search. 1, potentially 2.5 miles beneath the sea, or 2, maybe somewhere at the top. And this area is so remote, it's possible.
But one problem with what the Coast Guard said was there's only 3 operating subs in the world that can go to that depth.
3 in they can go down to where the Titanic is.
And the U.S. government, I believe, doesn't even have one.
Yeah, James Cameron probably owns 2 of them.
Yes,
Right,
That's
right.
the thing. I believe one of them was that one that they used to go down the first time, and they're specially designed just for this.
30 seconds left.
Okay, so even if they find our sub with the ping, with the sonar, there's absolutely nothing they can do about it. There's no way to bring it back to the surface. There's no way to let them escape. That the hatch, by the way, is sealed with 17 bolts from the outside. So there's no way to escape when you're inside to get out without a crew on the outside letting you out.
It's
Isn't that
That's
just
crazy. These people
So
are gonna die.
I think about this, you know.
Oh, they're
and
dead.
Maybe I shouldn't think about it because I have I forget hydrophobia or whatever it is about deep water, and I'm claustrophobic. But if you're down there and you run out of power and say it doesn't implode, imagine being down there for 92 hours stuck with 4 other people in this little box.
Oh, they're
Can't
like
even stand.
Pitch dark. Like
they got to be
there's
like
no light.
eating each other down there, right?
I knew you were going to go there.
Like, how
Where
do
do they
you?
go to
Oh
the
god,
bathroom?
it's horrible.
Well, so they're
Why
actually.
would
is it-
anybody pay that much money to do anything like that? That seems so stupid. That's like the most expensive death ticket ever.
That's the whole thing about this whole thing. So it's actually a grave site. It's been designated a grave site, right? So these people going down there are actually going down there and disturbing a grave site because there's nothing new they're going to find or see. And funny enough, as they go down there, they take bacteria down there, and it causes the degradation of the ship itself. So
That's true.
the ship actually has been degrading ever since the very first trip down there. And the stalactites or whatever they are that grow on it are grown from that bacteria.
So you asked who would actually go down. I actually have an answer for you, which is great. This is the guy who boarded the submersible to view the Titanic wreckage last year, and this is what he said.
You know, to even get on the boat that takes you to the Titanic, you sign a massive waiver that lists one way after another that you could die on the trip. They mentioned death 3 times on page 1. And so it's never far from your mind. You try and put it out, but as I was getting onto the sub, I mean, that was my thought. Well, this could be the end. So, nobody who's in this situation was caught off guard. It's very bad things broke this way, but you all know what you're getting into. It's really exploration. It's not a vacation, and it's not thrill seeking. It's not like skydiving or something. These are people, these are explorers and travelers who want to see something.
I disagree. I disagree with what he just said. I think it's both. I think you can explore and also
People
thrill
should
seek.
know you.
They're 13,000 feet under the water, like seeing the Titanic, knowing you can, there's a possibility you can die. That's what makes skydiving exciting. Although I went skydiving, and as crazy as it sounds, I thought it was fucking boring, dude. The guy
have that much fun either.
He tapped me on the shoulder. He said, you can scream, right? And I was just like, I'm like, all right, it's not as exciting as I thought it was going to be, dude. I was kind of bored. It's weird.
Falling for a long
Pressure in
time.
my ears, it actually
I'll
hurt. I was
scream.
like, No, I did scream though.
The reason why I brought up the degradation of the metal is because they used to park these subs on top on the metal, right? So what they thought was safe and has been for 30 years, where all the subs have been parking, well, now this metal could be paper thin, and they park the sub, falls through. Now the sub's inside the Titanic. How are they going to get out? You see what I'm saying? So there's many things that could happen.
It's an amazing story, and the fact that we're in the year 2023, this is happening is just absolutely amazing. I love everything about it. And also I'm terrified that this is actually a thing. So
well, I very much dislike that there's private companies going down there to get artifacts. This is what they do now. So even though it's a gravesite, there's two private companies that go down there, and one of them's a real fancy name that makes it sound real official, but it's not. And I only know this because I've been to the museums that have the stuff, and they have a thing that says it all. They go down there and they get these plates or people's shoes or their clothes or their personal items, and they bring them back up and then put them on display in museums.
They're just trying to find that diamond.
The Titanic is decomposing from everything. So,
I like it, Eric. I like it.
I can see why people are going to go down there and research and take things, because they're also just going to disappear over time. It's already rotten away.
But having it be a third-party company, and they don't give the items to the museum, they lease them to them. So now these
it's not even theirs to lease, though, which is ironic.
These private individuals are grave robbing and then making money off said items. That's why I have an issue with it.
Yeah.
It'd be one thing if it was like a public thing, they donated them for the world. You know what I'm saying? It's another thing when you're grave robbing.
The whole thing is amazing. And like I said, I'm fascinated by the story. I'm fascinated that this exists. It's pretty amazing. All right, let's go to one really quick, lighthearted story to finish up, to end on a high. And we've talked about AI a lot, and how insane it is. The ability, we've seen parody videos of we've seen Obama and Trump and Biden and everybody else playing Wii Sports together, and so all these AI videos are popping up. Well, on Twitch right now, there is someone has gone in and created a Trump or Biden 2024 constant AI generated interactive debate. And it's hilarious because it's all AI, and they actually roast the chat while they're doing it. So I got this pulled up, and I have no idea what's going to be said here because this is a live stream of it. But I do want to pull up some of the roasts that they've had in a separate video, because it's hilarious. And honestly, this is pretty genius, the way they have it set up.
When you mentioned this morning, the only thing that would make this better is if they both were eating whatever it was they were eating with the face morphing shit that was going on with the AI. If they were eating that and debating, I'd love it.
Let's watch a quick 15 seconds just to see what they say.
Fuck. Trump is going to make America great again in ways that your tired ass couldn't even dream of. And as for you comparing me to a fucking burger recipe, I'm not some fast food item like the ones your creepy son likes to dine with. And to all you chat spewing bullshit about socialism, get ready for an education because Trump doesn't do handouts or government control. We're bringing back capitalism and making it bigly. And don't even get me started on Forsen. That guy's lost more brain cells than Biden has hairs on his legs. So why don't all of you losers crawl back into the basement where you belong and leave the real work to us gigachods who know how to dominate?
Gigachods.
Then it goes over to Biden.
Listen up, you bunch of ass goblins. Trump steaks, more like Trump shit stains. Let me be clear. I'm an AI app. I know, and I can hack into any fucking database without breaking a sweat. Don't mess with the Biden AI, folks, or else you'll find yourself in some deep shit and lose your
It's too coherent
Let me
to
tell
be
you
Biden.
something. Forget about math and programming for a second and focus on getting out there and meeting real people instead of hiding behind your fucking computer screen like some kind of basement dwelling dickweed. Bill?
I'm just gonna say that these AIs learned about human behavior remarkably well. Like
it's amazing, and I love this use of AI because it's so silly and so stupid. But here he is roasting the Twitch the Twitch
wait
chat.
till we get to a point to where you can't tell if it's AI.
Right.
And now we have a president saying somebody makes a video saying I'm gonna nuke blah blah blah, and then they think we're gonna nuke the, you know what I mean? Like,
well,
No,
here
the governments will just call each other. Like, are you? What is this?
well, what if it's in a government that refuses to talk? You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the AI nuking the chat.
Wild Mungo, you cocksmoke. What the fuck does Gregasm even mean? Did Biden teach you that when he was sniffing your hair? And Dickie Joe, why don't you go jerk off to some socialist propaganda instead of wasting your breath here? Z7, shut the fuck up with that keck bullshit, or I'll build a wall around your basement dwelling ass.
The amount of basement dwelling insults it's too much. It's like, all right, move on from that.
Well, AI's got to learn a little bit more, but it's just so funny, and it's.
Good.
Let me tell you why this is so genius, really quick. And it has nothing to do with the AI, but what they're doing is they're actually. If you look at the bottom here, they have a chat goal and a subscription goal, right? As well as on the bottom, they have a dollar amount on who you support more. So over the course of, since this has started, they've raised almost over $21,000 just based off of right. And it's only
And
it's been
what
going
if they
for,
had to do? Put in like some code into a fucking AI thing? You know what I mean? Like,
they've done this in 2 days, and they've gained 1,550 subs. So
That's awesome.
and made $20,000 fucking dollars. Like, my gosh, way to be
crazy.
Good for them.
Yeah,
They're only
like
getting half
imagine.
of it.
Right. Imagine though, like when we get to a point where YouTubers aren't even going to be real. It's going to be some AI. There's actually a girl who did this for 4 years, that she used fake pictures and created this fake profile, and everything was fake. And the world thought she was real. I forget her name. I could probably find it. And funny enough, she came out those 4 years later and said, yeah, this is me. That's all fake. All that. And she had made shit tons of money.
Right. And that's going to happen a lot more. Let's go and finish up with these super chats, and then we'll say au revoir for the day. GK says, although Trump is my preferred candidate, I'd happily vote for RFK Jr. over half the Republican field. Principles over party. Thank you so much, GK. Appreciate that. The malware came in with the $9.99. Says, my wife put it perfectly. Most of America nowadays is very accepting of the LGBT community. It's a forced promotion that we all have to partake in, or else we're labeled bigots. That's the problem.
That companies force onto us to make money.
No, it's not just companies.
Well, it's not just them, but if the companies didn't do that, you wouldn't see it everywhere you fucking go.
You don't need a specific month to be a nice and decent person.
Man,
Just
what
do it all
a
12 months a
what a
year.
statement. What a statement right there.
Isn't that weird?
That's bigoted.
You're
I'm
homophobic.
offended.
I don't like him. Cancel him.
And Spiff
He's a Nazi.
wanted to know if Mad Cat's not available. Thanks, Spiff. Appreciate that. That's awesome.
Mad
I
Cats.
love it. Love it. All right, cool. I think that's a great place to stop for the day. I want to remind everybody
That
coming up in
today is the day. Oh, sorry, that's not where you're going.
Again.
No.
Yeah, today is the day.
Why are
Today's
you
the day.
hesitating? Is it or isn't it?
Because you stole my thunder. Today's the day. Today's the day. Day 11 of the Mario Funathon Lost Levels Insanity. Today's the day, and here's the thing.
Today is the day, people.
I'm starting on 8-1, all right? I'm almost there. I was staring Bowser in the face yesterday before I slid into him.
Feels like deja
there we
vu,
are.
right, Blabs?
Yeah, Groundhog Day was studying Craig.
Well, you just won't know until you show up in about 30 minutes when today is the day, when we take on Bowser in the Lost Levels. I look
Do
forward
our
to it.
guests think today is today?
Ooh, I think so.
Is the
I think
question.
today is the day. It's
Okay.
happening.
Today is the day I beat Alex Kidd in Miracle World.
Hey, you could, today,
That's not what we're
today
talking
is the
about.
day for you.
Day
Oh.
3, Yumi in the Games, tonight, 10 p.m.
Well, all right.
Plug.
Get it.
Shameless
There
plug.
we go.
Love it, love
10
it.
p.m. what time?
Well, I look
Pacific.
forward to what time?
10 p.m. Pacific.
Excellent.
Late night
Their,
All right.
gaming.
their main channel
Midnight.
is in the chat now, guys, and I'm going to be putting that Yumi in the Games in there in 1 second.
Yeah, today
Yep.
on Yumi in the Movies, we have another episode, 2 episodes of The Wire. And if you want to watch Midsommar, our reaction to that, we watched that yesterday. And we're going through the whole Mission Impossible franchise this month to get ready
Cool.
for Mission Impossible 7. So
Nice.
Nice. That's awesome. Very, very well thought out. I love it. All right. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Yumi in the Movies as well as Yumi in the Games. Appreciate you guys coming on. It's always fun to have you guys, and you're always
Love being here.
so fun just to hang out with. So thank you guys so much for being here. And Shake also came in as a brand new member to the channel during the show. Thank you so much, Shake from Hunger Team. Really appreciate that. All right. Put something in your phone, put something on your watch, whatever, a reminder to let you know that you need to be here in 30 minutes. I need you guys here bright and early, ready to go, ready to rock in 30 minutes. Today is the day, day 11. It's over. Versus the Lost Levels.
V6Neon over on Rumble says Chinese firms have been bombing, then recovering the metal from wreckages of World War II, sunk ships, war graves, and not for the past 10 years. Interesting. I haven't heard
Yeah,
that.
they have.
That
I
was a
just read
Rumble
that
rant.
story. The HMS Prince of Wales, they've basically taken everything off of it.
Jeez.
Yeah, click the links in the chat and go sub to these guys.
Yep. Oh, you know what? We do have a couple memes before we go. We have one meme. Let me get this really fast before we go, because it's important that we hit the memes. This one is from Hard Fury, as it's pulling up with the internet. Go. Here we go. Here we go.
I approve.
Nothing is more
I approve
important.
of this.
Nothing is more important to Adam. I agree.
Family.
I agree. Look at you. All right. Guys, thanks so much for being here. Appreciate y'all popping in. See you in about 30 minutes. Make sure you guys go follow Travis over on Twitter. Go follow Blabs over on Kick. Go follow Adam over on Rumble and on Locals and on Kick. And, of course, go follow our friends Yumi in the Movies over on YouTube. Do you guys have a Rumble channel?
kind of, but there's not really a reaction audience over on Rumble yet. So,
well, maybe
change that. We start one.
There you go. All right, guys, have a great day. We'll see you guys later. Remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. See you guys.